Hello, in this video I'll be giving you a brief tour of the library website, including where to find some useful resources and services that might be helpful to you in your TRW class. So this video is meant to provide just a brief introduction to the library site, and there will be other videos available to help you with using some specific resources that might be useful when working on your major research assignments like your structured controversy paper in your TRW class. So you can access the library website directly at library.stkate.edu. Otherwise, if you log into your Gateway account, you should also see a link to the library in the upper right-hand corner. Once you are on our library website, you'd probably notice the very large search box right in the center of the screen. So this search box, our main library search, is also sometimes referred to as Summon, and this will actually search most of the materials in our collection, including books, journals, journal articles, newspaper and magazine articles, videos, and things like that. And we'll actually go into this a little bit more in depth in another video, so we won't go into that right now. But we will talk about briefly about some of the buttons that you see below the main library search box here. So the first one is books. So if you are looking specifically for a book, you can go into this section and you can actually search just our book collection or specifically an ebook collection. Or if you're looking for something like an encyclopedia or reference book, you can search those collections as well directly from here. Go back. The articles button, this is where you're going to go and find kind of a list of all the different databases that we subscribe to. So we subscribe to a couple of hundred databases here, so sometimes it can be tricky to kind of figure out exactly which database you should be using. So we've tried to make that a little bit easier for you by organizing our databases in a few different ways on this page. So the first way is by databases by subject. So you can see we have a subject list of all the subjects that are covered here at St. Kate's. So if you are working in a particular discipline, you can select that. And what we've tried to do is pull together most of the databases that are going to be relevant to that particular area. And at the top of the page, kind of in the purple box, we've tried to pick out a couple of those that might be particularly useful or kind of your best bets when you're first starting off doing research in that particular area. So searching by subject is a really good way to try and find a database. If you know the name of the database that you're looking for, you can search by it by just clicking or by typing in the title, or we do have a nice A to Z drop-down list here as well. So you just find it on the list and hit go and get to the database that you're looking for. Otherwise, we do, along the right-hand side here, have a list of favorite databases. So these are kind of some of the databases that are most often used here at St. Kate's. In a different video, we are going to be looking specifically at Academic Search Premier, so that's a popular one. But otherwise on this list you'll see some of the other most often used databases that we have here at St. Kate's. So a quick way to get to some of those. All right, I'm going to go back again. The media button, this is where you go if you are looking for things such as videos, images, or audio. So we have a few different options from this page here, so it's fairly self-explanatory. Hit the back button once again. And then the next button is research guides. If you click on that, basically, every subject area that we have here on campus, we have a subject guide for. So if you know you're working in a particular discipline or doing some research in that, again, you can find whatever discipline that you're working in and take a look at the research guide. We've just tried to pull together resources that might be useful for you in that particular area. And for TRW, we do have a research guide as well, and you can actually find that under the favorites guide, favorite guides section. So if we go ahead and click on that, so here's the research guide for TRW. I'm going to point out just a few things that might be particularly useful. The first one is under in the articles tab here. So if we click on that, and then if you click on controversial issues, so these three resources, Issues and Controversies, Point of View, Reference Center, and CQ Researcher, are all really good resources if you're looking kind of for some general background information on a controversial topic. So if you are doing a structured controversy paper, this is a good place to kind of start to kind of get yourself familiarized with a particular topic so you kind of know the different sides of the issue. So let's just take a look at one of these. They all kind of have similar types of information. Let's go ahead and click on Points of View Reference Center. And in all of these databases, you can either kind of search for a topic by keywords in the search box at the top, or if you scroll down, you can kind of look at general topic categories, so you can kind of see what's available in a particular subject area. So let's go ahead and just take a look at one of these really quickly. So we click on Banning Books. The nice thing about this database, it'll kind of really nicely lay out kind of the point and counterpoint. And then in kind of the body of the article, It's going to give you just a nice general overview, so it'll help you, again, get kind of more familiar with the topic that you might be interested in doing your structured controversy paper on. You might not necessarily want to use this type of resource, in the actual paper that you're writing, but the nice thing about these is that it is going to give you a bibliography or a reference list. This could be useful in helping you find other resources that could be good to use in your research papers. So any of those 3 different databases are kind of good places to start, again, when you're just trying to kind of familiarize yourself with a particular topic. Other things on this research guide that might be useful for you, in particular, is the citing and writing section. So if you do have any questions on using a particular citation style, we've tried to pull together a lot of resources that are going to be useful and help you kind of get through that process. So that's all I'm going to really point out on the TRW research guide. I'm going to go back to our home page. Then the last button you'll see here is called Digital Collections. So this is mainly going to lead you to information and a link to Sophia, which is our own institutional repository, and also information for our archives and special collections that are available online. But we're not going to go into anything in-depth on this page here. So I'm going to hit the back button. Just a few other things I'm going to point out on our home page here. So the first one down here is research. So if you have any questions about kind of the research process in general, we've tried to pull together some resources to kind of correspond to each of those different steps of the research process. So we have information on choosing a topic, developing search strategies, finding background information, finding and evaluating sources, and citing those sources. So again, if you have any questions during the research process, there might be some useful information here for you. The next button over is services. So just a couple that I will point out under services for students, actually just one in particular that I'm going to, actually 2 things I'm going to point out. So the first one is that we do have group study rooms available in our library, and a couple of those are actually available to book ahead of time, so you can click on book a room. So if you are working on a group project and you are going to be on campus and you want kind of a nice place to go and have a dedicated space to go to, you can definitely book a room ahead of time so that you know that you have a place to go. Otherwise, the rest of our study rooms are available on a first-come, first-served basis, so you can also do that. The other thing I'm going to point out under services for students is the off-campus access. So if you are off-campus and don't come into the library much and are using a lot of our online resources, if you run into any issues, you can always give us a call if the reference desk is being staffed, and I'll show you how to find that contact information in a second. But this might be a good place to go to kind of help yourself try and troubleshoot any issues that you might be running into. All right. So the next section I'm going to show is citing and writing. So again, this is similar to what you'd find on the TRW research guide under the citing and writing section. But you can see here, you can also just come directly to this page as well. If you click on citation styles, you can see we have kind of the most often used citation styles here at St.Kate. So you just select the one that you are using. And for most of them, it'll start off with kind of a quick guide to whatever citation style we're talking about. And that will kind of give you kind of the most basic or the most commonly used resource types and how to format those citations or reference list entries. And then we just try to pull together other sources that could be useful in those particular styles as well. And then the last section I'm going to show you quickly is our help section. So please know that the librarians, we're here to help you, so please don't hesitate to reach out if you ever have any questions during the research process. There are a number of different ways that we can assist you. So the first one, if you click on help, you'll find the first thing you'll see is the chat box. So if it's during kind of our regular reference business hours, you'll get a chat box here that will connect to one of us, one of the reference librarians here at St. Kate's. But even if it is 2 o'clock in the morning, you will always see a chat box here that you can access and get some assistance. So if it is 2 a.m., it's not going to be one of the St. Kate's librarians, but it'll be somebody from our worldwide chat service. And they would be happy to help you at least get started with your research process. Since they won't be from St. Kate's, they might not be as familiar with all of our resources and services, but they can usually at least help you get started or help you kind of do some basic troubleshooting if you're having access issues. So please just know that there's always going to be support available for you from this chat box here. Otherwise, if you are on campus and can come into the library, you can visit our research desk in person, so you can see our hours are listed here. You can also send us an email at library@stkate.edu. We will try and respond to you within a day. So if you have any kind of reference questions, you can definitely email us. You can also call us while we're at the reference desk, so during those business reference desk hours. You can give us a call, or you can even text us during those hours. So usually that works best for kind of really short, quick questions. Usually in-depth research questions we'll probably ask to follow up either with a phone call or email. The other thing you can do, if those research desk hours don't work for you, you can always fill out this form to make an appointment with the librarian. So if you do want to kind of sit down for a good amount of time, if you do have a research question that you're maybe having a little bit of trouble with, you can set up a time to meet with a librarian, and we'll sit down with you one-on-one and kind of go through everything and try and get you on your way with your research. And that can be done either in person, or sometimes some of us can also do those online. So if you aren't coming to campus all that often, you can still do something online. We can set up a Google Hangout or something like that. So please just know that there's plenty of support available for you during the research process, so please don't hesitate to reach out to us. The librarians are here to help, and we'd be happy to do that. So good luck with your research.